Nestle has been in Sri Lanka for over 100 years. We have been committed to enhancing the lives of the local community since the very beginning.
We purchase hundreds of thousands of litres of milk from 18,000 farmers every day.
Committed to increasing fresh milk production in Sri Lanka, we help local dairy farmers produce milk that meets our high-quality standards.
Nestle, empowering Sri Lankan dairy farmers.
Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Sharon Silva.
And I'm Nicola De Souza. We start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
Sri Lanka Freedom Party meeting on the next presidential poll scheduled today. Police sergeant caught on camera while assaulting woman in Ratnapura interdicted. Jayalalitha Jairam's closest aide sworn in as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Students at private medical colleges eligible for clinical training at state hospitals. Domestic users given priority when implementing the new electricity tariff revision. 3.4 million rupees robbed in Mount Lavinia.
Attention in the political arena is currently focused on a possible presidential election in the near future. Is there a possibility for a presidential election to be held in the near future? If so, when? Newsfirst delves deeper.
Speaking at an event held in Kandy today, Cabinet spokesperson Minister Kehliya Rambukwala indicated that a presidential election could be held as early as January next year. The President has reached a decision that following the completion of 4 years, he will exercise his constitutional right as per the provisions in the Constitution. Therefore, an election can be held. If that happens, the election will most probably be held in January. A decision will be made. The Central Committee is meeting today. Chapter 7 of the Constitution details the provisions of the Executive Presidency. As per the Constitution of 1978, the Executive President has a term of 6 years. The original Constitution also notes that the President can serve a maximum of 2 years. However, in September 2010, the 18th Amendment was introduced, removing the limitation on the number of terms the President can run for office. The 18th Amendment also gives the incumbent President the power to obtain a mandate from the people once again 4 years after the commencement of his term. The 18th Amendment notes that such a request for a mandate is an order for the Elections Commissioner to conduct a presidential election. On the 26th of January 2010, President Mahinda Rajapaksa requested a mandate from the people once again 4 years after his term commenced. Although the election was held on the 26th of January, the President only took oaths for his second term on the 19th of November 2010. According to a previous determination by the Supreme Court, the President's second term commenced on the 19th of November 2010. According to the 18th Amendment, the President can request a mandate from the people once again after midnight on the 19th of November this year. While it removed the term limitation on any candidate hoping to contest the presidential election, they are also now able to limit the term to 4 years and go for an election not only in the first term but in any subsequent term. It has also given the opportunity for an incumbent president to call for a presidential election when it is most suitable for them.
When News First made inquiries, Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya noted that he is yet to be informed on a date for the presidential election.
In the meantime, Western Provincial Councillor Udaya Gamanpila states that the JHU will be presenting a set of conditions prior to the next presidential election. The councillor made this statement during a function held in Kandy yesterday.
We are ready to make an announcement as to what is expected from a future president from the Sinhala Buddhist masses that have been remaining silent. Even people like Sambandhan, Rauf Hakim and Tondaman, who have been selling voter blocks in previous elections, have begun their negotiations. Their negotiations include how many ministerial portfolios will be issued, how many deputy ministerial positions will be issued, how many positions of chairperson they will receive. how many ambassador positions they will receive or how much money they will receive. Ministerial positions are not important to us. What is important is policies. We call on everyone to disregard party politics and join us to aid in this effort.
A police sergeant connected to an incident where a woman was assaulted at the Ratnapura main bus stop has been interdicted. According to police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana, following an investigation conducted by the ASP of Ratnapura, it was decided to interdict the police sergeant.
An investigation was launched by the Assistant Superintendent of Police of Ratnapura. However, we were unable to find the woman connected to the incident. We are hoping to record a statement from her and later present her to the government medical examiner. If criminal charges are filed against the police sergeant, we will take legal action against him under the criminal law.
Meanwhile, the assault of a woman in Ratnapura was condemned by the Women for Rights during a media briefing held today.
This
assault was an assault on the pride of our women. This cannot be considered an isolated incident. The duty of the police is to uphold law and protect peace. However, when a woman is assaulted in this manner, it shows that the police and the army are trying to take the law into their own hands. We are now questioning as to who gave them the power to control the law. Today it affected the women, tomorrow it could affect the children, and in the future it could affect the entire society.
ඊළඟ දවසේ සමස්ත සමාජයටම තර්ජනයක් වනවාමයි.
A number of incidents where suspects in police custody have died. 2 suspects who murdered 2 police officers in Warakapula killed in a shootout. 2 more suspects connected to the death of 2 police officers in Warakapula killed during an operation. The remains of the 7th suspect who was connected to the murder of the 2 police officers in Warakapula discovered in Maoya. Suspect dies while in the custody of the Dompe police. Suspect succumbs to a sickness while in the custody of the Vadua police. Thief dies in police shootout during an operation to apprehend him. Individual hangs himself while in police custody. Individual arrested in connection to the murder of a woman and the rape of her daughter in the Pittigala area dies after falling off a precipice. A suspect connected to a drug-related offence dies in police STF fire when he attempted to strangle the driver of the jeep in which he was being transported. Suspect who murdered a police constable and his wife killed in a shootout when the suspect accompanied the police to the location of the murder weapon. 2 suspects connected to the murder of a police constable and his wife drowned in the Denagama river while attempting to flee from police custody. A suspect who injured an individual killed in an operation launched to arrest him. Suspect injured a police constable before being shot at. The criminal by the alias Kaluchuti, who was wanted for several crimes, dies in police gunfire after he attempted to strangle the driver of the police jeep that was transporting him to locate another suspect.
If the relevant suspect does have a firearm, then it is not necessary to take him along to recover the firearm. In certain instances, they can collect information on this through various means, and on most occasions, when a person is handcuffed, there is not much that he can do. What happens today is that in most instances, the suspects are arrested, statements are recorded from them, and then they are taken along either to identify other suspects or to uncover hidden arms. And that is how these incidents happen.
For your attention.
Meanwhile, a man has been hospitalized after allegedly being assaulted by the police at the Panamuru junction in Amilipitia. The police claimed that there was no such assault.
2 police officers had attempted to inspect a 3-wheeler driver at the Panamuru junction in Ambilipitia last afternoon.
The police jeep stopped in the middle of the road and they called him over. Then they questioned him and checked around, but they didn't find anything. Afterwards, they beat him twice or thrice. He fell down and appeared to be in a lot of pain. We put him into the 3-wheeler and another man from the park, and I brought him to the hospital.
The injured man is being treated at the Ambilipitia Base Hospital. The police say that the officers had inspected the 3-wheel on a tip-off that it was being used to sell marijuana, adding that when the officers were turning back, the driver had fallen on the road. The police media spokesperson's office say that the individual was subsequently hospitalized.
New cabinet of ministers of the Tamil Nadu state was sworn in today following the unseating of former Chief Minister Jayalalitha Jayaram by a special court in Bangalore.
Indian media reports say O. Paneerselvam broke down while being sworn in as the Chief Minister. The 32 ministers in the former cabinet were all sworn in once again. Protests were held in several parts of Tamil Nadu today against the verdict and sentencing of Jayalalitha Jayaram. 5 members of Jayalalitha's All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam or AIA-DMK and party supporters commenced a hunger strike near the statue of party founder MGR or MG Ramachandran. Indian media also reported that 16 people had died of shock following the sentencing of former Chief Minister Jayalalitha Jayaram. Media reports indicate that 6 of the deaths were suicide. Meanwhile, India Home Affairs Minister Rajnath Singh held discussions with security officials today regarding the violence that has erupted following the verdict against Jayalalitha Jayaram and on ensuring public safety.
In the meantime, the chairman of the BJP Strategic Action Committee, Dr. Subramaniam Swamy, says that it is his intention to send Congress party leaders Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi to prison before Christmas. Indian media reported that Swamy had made these comments on the sidelines of a seminar in Bangalore following the verdict in the case against Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha Jayaram, in which he was the original complainant.
BJP leader Subramanian Swamy called the judgment against Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha excellent and said that a local sessions court had shown tremendous courage in delivering it. Dr. Swamy said that after Jayalalitha, he now hopes to get Congress leaders Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, unquote, in connection with the case of the acquisition of the National Herald newspaper. He said, quote, I first thought of Jayalalitha, but now we'll work on sending Miss Sonia and Mr. Rahul to jail, hopefully by Christmas, unquote. Jayalalitha Jayaram was arrested and imprisoned 18 years after Dr. Swamy filed the complaint and submitted a bail application to the Karnataka High Court today. How will the Indian court act in terms of the bail application filed by one of India's most powerful politicians? The one-time actress who once upon a time mesmerized an entire nation is now serving time after being found guilty of amassing wealth disproportionate to her known sources of income. She was accused of amassing $10 million when she was the chief minister between 1991 and 1996. According to foreign media reports, these assets included 28 kilograms of gold, 750 pairs of shoes, over 10,000 saris and 2 1,000-acre estates in the state of Tamil Nadu. J. Jayalalitha, the leader of the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, which emerged as the third force at the recent Indian general election, is a powerful character in the Indian political arena. While Jayalalitha has been arrested for failing to declare her assets appropriately, why is it that this does not apply to politicians in Sri Lanka who fail to declare their assets prior to an election as required by the law?
The institutions are working in India, and they've been working for a while. The courts, accountability, all of that has been working in India. They used to work in Sri Lanka at least until 1972, until when we had an independent public services commission which was abolished by the 72 constitution and never restored by the 78 constitutional process. So India can be proud of its system of courts. It's an example to the rest of us in South Asia.
Political analysts believe that the verdict handed down by the Indian court shows the depth of democracy in India. What does this depth represent?
India's most important strength is its democracy. Now, the Jayalalitha affair shows that democracy is a robust democracy. It's not a truncated or distorted or debased residual democracy of the sort that we have in Sri Lanka. And we do have a democracy. It's a fuller democracy, and that includes transparency, accountability, and an absolutely independent judiciary and judicial process. What has happened in Tamil Nadu is that this democracy has shown itself to have depth. India has democracy in depth. We do not have democracy in depth. We have a diminished democracy because the institutions, the processes have been hyper-politicized.
Now, pictures can speak 1,000 words. We conclude this report with a series of caricatures depicting how these events inspired a cartoonist.
Meanwhile, here at home, beneficiaries of the Gamidiriya program carried out demonstrations in several districts. The protests were held against the decision to integrate the Gamidiriya program with Divinaguma.
The Gamidiriya program was launched in 2004 under the purview of the Ministry of Nation Building and Estate Infrastructure Development. However, a decision was made to hand over the program to the Ministry of Economic Development with effect from tomorrow. Thereby, the Gamidiriya will now function under the Divinaguma Bill, which was enacted on the 8th of January 2013. Thereby, all finances of the Gamidiriya program will be handed over to the Divinaguma program. A number of demonstrations were held against this decision. Around 3,000 beneficiaries from Kurunegala and Kegol districts gathered in Karanella. Don't take away our independence and allocate the money of our village for some other cause. Beneficiaries of the Gamidiriya program from Gaul, Mathura and Hambantota districts carried out their protest opposite the Tissamaharama Rajama Viharaya. We request the necessary authorities to give this back to us. We were able to make wells and provide electricity to the people in the village.
Thank
20,000 Gamidiriya beneficiaries from the Ambalapitia, Balangoda and Kalutara districts carried out a protest in the Ratnapura New Town area. Demonstrations were also held in the Monragala and Nuvarele areas as well. There is a certain time frame for any project, thereby it will come to an end tomorrow. The associations at village level will remain as it is. Their money will not be taken, nor will it be transferred to anyone. This protest was launched as the people believe that their money will be utilized for the Divinaguma project. Anything of this sort will not take place.
In business news tonight, the Ceylon Electricity Board states that electricity tariffs of all domestic consumers would be reduced by 25% with effect from the 1st of October. Media spokesperson of the CEB, Deputy General Manager Senajit Dasanayaka, speaking to Newsfirst, noted that discussions have not taken place in relation to the reduction of electricity rates for other consumer groups.
With the opening of the Norchale coal power plant, the government announced that all consumers would be entitled to a 25% reduction in electricity tariffs. The CEB notes that the new tariff structure will be introduced during this week.
The Ceylon Electricity Board, in coordination with the Ministry of Planning and Implementation and also the Ministry of Power and Energy, is working out how the 25% reduction could be accommodated with the existing tariffs. Their attention is currently being drawn to consider the entire domestic sector for this reduction, and during the course of the week it will be decided how the tariff is worked out for the domestic sector.
Even though the CEB is now in a position to reduce electricity tariffs, the board had to increase electricity tariffs on a number of occasions over the past few years. From the 1st of November 2008, steps were taken to increase electricity tariffs, and 10 days later steps were taken to introduce a fuel adjustment charge on hotels and factories. A new tariff structure was once again introduced in 2009. Thereafter, on the 1st of January 2011, the electricity tariff structure was re-amended, which in turn led to an increase in electricity tariffs for all sectors. Meanwhile, on the 20th of April 2013, the CEB announced a 40% increase in electricity rates.
A hotel in Karuwala Gaswawa Putlam, owned by parliamentarian Palitha Range Bandara, was shot at by an unidentified group early this morning.
The police media unit said that several windows at the hotel were damaged in the shooting and that no one was hurt.
We
could see that 28 bullets hit the outside of the hotel and the windows. The police are about 300 meters away. They caused this damage and shot the hotel in this backdrop. This is being done to spread violence for political needs.
A wildlife officer who was part of a program to chase away wild elephants in Madurangala was attacked. He is currently receiving treatment in the ICU of the Polonnaruwa hospital.
The carcass of a wild elephant was discovered in the Kurubadde area in Valikanda. We were also able to witness the manner in which a deceased 10-month-old elephant calf was found in the Boghavat area. The wildlife officer who was returning to office was stopped by area residents from Boghavat to chase away the wild elephants that were roaming in the area. According to a correspondent, the wildlife officer in question chased away 3 wild elephants with the use of his gun. Thereafter, he made his way to Sevanapitiya before departing to Madurangala to chase away wild elephants, where he was attacked. He is currently receiving treatment at the Polonnaruwa General Hospital. The Kotavera village is another village which faces the threat of wild elephant attacks. Area residents charged that the electric fence, which was constructed in order to keep away wild elephants from entering the village, has been of no use due to the substandard quality of the fence. Area residents added that their houses and farmlands are in constant threat of wild elephant attacks.
The Ministry of Health agreed today to provide clinical training for students of the private medical college in Malabe at state hospitals.
The Ministry of Health agreed to extend the training course to the private medical college when a fundamental rights petition regarding the matter was taken up before a 2-judge bench of the Supreme Court today. The bench comprised of Justices Eva Wanasundara and Chandra Ekanayaka. The fundamental rights petition, which was filed by 5 students of the private medical college in Malabe, citing the Minister of Health, the Minister of Higher Education, the University Grants Commission and 10 other officials as respondents, was withdrawn in court. In the petition, the 5 students stated that it was imperative for them to receive clinical training.
The South Asia Regional Program of the Commonwealth Local Government Forum, or the CLGF, got underway in Colombo today. Local government representatives from across the region and a number of international and local intellectuals and experts are participating in the program.
The 2-day program got underway under the auspices of the Minister of Local Government and Provincial Councils A.L.M. Athaula and the Secretary General of the CLGF, Carl Wright.
Even at present, our government is making great efforts for strengthening the system of local government by granting more functions and devolving more funds toward promoting responsive and inclusive governance along with the vibrant intergovernmental relations. In real term, since the local government lead the socio-economic transformation at local level, they are considered as the engine of human growth.
Allow me to emphasize that if we are to successfully confront problems of successionism in our different countries, we need to empower local communities through democratic decentralization, through ensuring good local governance such as accountability, transparency, and through building effective and capable local government structures in close partnership with provincial, state and central or federal governments. We also need to give local governments adequate resources to do this work.
You're watching News First, and up next is Action TV.
As a result of the shortage of water, about 50,000 acres of paddy fields that are sustained by the Huruluwawa in Anuradhapura are facing a situation where they cannot be cultivated for a 4th consecutive season. A group of soybean farmers in the Huruluwawa scheme, who in the Yalla season of 2013 planted soybean seeds recommended by the then Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, learnt a lesson they will not soon forget. It is not only the rain gods that have been toying around with the Huruluwawa. A project that is being implemented at the Huruluwawa by the Irrigation Department with aid from the World Bank can also be counted among the causes for the hardships being faced by the farmers. From the day the project was initiated in November 2011, it was used as an excuse to not release water from the Mahavali River into the Huruluwawa. The project in question, undertaken with a 136 million rupee loan facility from the World Bank, is intended to strengthen the breakwater around the bund of the reservoir. The project plan notes that work is to be completed in 18 months. The time frame has been noted after considering the possibility of heavy rains causing construction to be suspended. However, the onset of the rainy season did not bring rains heavy enough to disrupt construction. As such, although the project could have been completed before the due date, the Hudluwawa to this day is a construction site. The contract is like a pyramid scheme. There is the major contractor, then a subcontractor and a sub-subcontractor. As you move lower down the pyramid, you will find that there are about 10 contractors. The contractor at the very bottom hired a few laborers and does some work. So the workload keeps being divided and the people at the bottom have very little to do. Some of the sections of the breakwater that have been completed make it evident that even rains will not bear any fruit for these farmers. Won't the wastage of time in allowing the herd of contractors who are committing fraud by both working and not working lead to the collapse of the Hudluwawa agrarian scheme? Minister of Irrigation and Water Resource Management, over to you.
You now have the opportunity to secure application forms for the Sports First Mobitel Platinum Awards. A promotion vehicular procession set off today from Jaffna and will be going from village to village. The Sports First Mobitel Platinum Awards will recognize the unheralded and talented sportsmen and women of Sri Lanka who have showcased exceptional skill on the national and international stage. The promotional campaign for the Platinum Awards got underway in Jaffna today with a commemorative plaque being presented to sportsmen and sportswomen in the area. The campaign was made colourful with musical performances, and sportsmen and women in the area were also given the opportunity to secure application forms for the Sports First Mobitel Platinum Awards. Sports fans too have the opportunity to win big by nominating their favourite sportsman or sportswoman for the Platinum Awards. 3 cash prizes of 100,000 rupees each are up for grabs. The promotional vehicular parade, which commenced in Jaffna today, will reach Kilinochchi tomorrow. For more details on the Sports First Mobitel Platinum Awards, call 0710 420 420.
A sum of 3.4 million rupees belonging to a private educational institute in Mount Lavinia was stolen today. According to the police, the money which was being transported to be deposited at a bank was robbed by 2 persons who arrived in a 3-wheeler. The suspects are yet to be identified. The police has, however, launched investigations into the theft.
You're the Voice too, the concert for peace organized by the Bridge to Peace and the Peace Gang in celebration of World Peace Day was held in Colombo yesterday.
You're the Voice too concert for peace featured many prominent acts such as Flame, Manjari Hangawatta, Hasini Andre, Lenny Vitachi, Gerard Devi and Tuminda Pereira, and also featured the talents of the students of the La Petite Fleurs or Little Flowers concept schools.
Every child at La Petite, starting all the way from grade 1, is well aware of what peace means. We try very hard in our small concept school to keep the credential of peace. As it was said, where does human rights start? It starts with individual people in their homes, in their families, and in their communities. We try hard to let children know that unless that is in order, it's very hard to take the message out of them.
The US Trade Show 2014, organized by the American Chamber of Commerce in Sri Lanka, commenced in Colombo today.
The US Trade Show 2014 commenced today under the auspices of the US Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Michelle J. Sisson.
The US and Sri Lanka are important trading partners. We want this trade relationship to continue to grow, and we want to further cement U.S.-Sri Lankan economic ties. American companies here are poised to achieve greater diversification into new businesses, greater access into regional supply chains, and enhanced competitiveness to their existing markets.
The US Trade Show 2014 features stalls by several American and local companies from all sectors including industries, services and agriculture.
A function was held yesterday under the auspices of General Secretary of the Citizens Front, Parliamentarian J. Sri Lanka.
General Secretary of the Citizens Front, Parliamentarian J. Sri Lanka, declared open a cultural centre built with the use of its centralised fund in Lindula yesterday. A warm welcome was accorded to the parliamentarian. There is a need for a Tamil-speaking education minister for the Nureli district. Digambaram had said not to provide this portfolio to CWC. Muthusinghe Lingam does not have the ability to obtain this post from the government. The CWC had said to disconnect the power. I called the authorities and said to provide an uninterrupted supply of power. They heeded my orders. They cannot play the games they played before. I will not remove the elderly from these line houses. However, I will resettle the young generation in good dwellings. I built this cultural centre for the benefit of grade 8 and ordinary level students. Women will be trained in stitching at this centre. This centre will provide self-employment opportunities for those residing in this area.
According to our reporter, in the Nandikadal area, a large number of dead fish have been reported from the Nandikadal lagoon in the past few days. NARA has launched investigations to ascertain the cause of this phenomenon. According to the Ministry of Fisheries, a special team has been deployed to NARA to conduct investigations into this incident.
The Sri Lanka men's 4x400 relay team advanced into the finals of the relay event at the 17th Asian Games today. However, national high jump champion Manjula Kumara failed to impress today.
The Sri Lankan men's relay team that competed in the 4x400 event came in 5th in their heat with a time of 3 minutes 10.3 seconds. However, they advanced to the finals after being adjudged the best loser. The final of the relay event will take place on Friday. National high jump champion Manjula Kumara, who competed in the high jump event today, failed to make it into the list of top 10 competitors. His best jump of 2.15 meters earned him the 12th position. Qatari national Mutaz Aziza clinched gold with a jump of 2.35 meters, which was a new games record.
The landslide warning issued for the Kegor, Kandy and Matale districts has been extended further as a result of persisting rains. The Disaster Management Centre has called on the public living in these areas to take precautions in the event of heavy rainfall.
Strong winds that blew across the Nugagahakule area in the Siambalandua Administrative Division have damaged 9 homes. The power supply to the entire area was disrupted as a result of trees falling onto electricity cables. Trees which fell across the Monragala-Pothuwil main road also hampered the flow of traffic.
Here's a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. The intermonsoonal system has become active all across the island. As a result, thunder showers could be experienced in the afternoon and evening. Showers or thunder showers could be experienced in the sea areas of the coast, and the Met Department predicts that wind speeds, the southwesterly wind speeds, could reach up to 20 to 40 kilometers per hour.
Well, that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. For the Newsfirst team, I am Nicola De Zoiza.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.